not fake, never been fraud. Been great, still a little flawed. Always need sign when they call. Order up a drink while I'm sitting at the bar. Like, I need a strong tail, Nico make two. Honey Jack with a little bit of juice. CYA throwing up the dose. I'm all in. I try to get some peace, that's all I need. I try to get some peace, that's all I need.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T with Adventurers of Spirits, but tonight we are doing Drinks and Deliberation, where we just have a couple of members that get together and just talk about certain topics. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it get a little heated with some debates. Sometimes we also play games. But today the topic is life choices. Basically living with your life choices. And so as we all know, there's so many choices that you make in life that actually changes your whole course of how you live, the people you associate, the people who you love, the people who you live with, the people who you do business with. The actual circumstances of your life are based on choices, as well as how you deal with others, basically your emotions and your mind. So with that stated, today we have two of our spirit members that are here right now. We're expecting one more. We have TJ Destinations on the move here, and we got Stacy. What's up, y'all? Everybody? How's it going?
How you doing? It's great.
Doing good.
Hey, Stacy.
Hi, Mr. TJ. How you doing again?
Doing good. You said Mr. TJ. Come on. No, Mr. Just TJ.
I call her Miss Tanya. She'll tell you.
She does. She does. It's a culture thing for her.
It's an island thing.
Very respectful. But she
thank you.
But she just say that just so she could point out that I'm older, I guess. Is that what you're trying to say, Stacey? Is that what you trying to say?
Sweetheart, you look younger than me most days. You're doing great. Mr. Dude's in the background. He might chime in.
Okay, hey, not a problem. Look, if he gonna chime in, then he need to get in the camera. That's all I got to say. He gonna have to chime in.
No peanut gallery.
Right?
If you're gonna say something, say it with your chest out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And be on camera.
Now.
Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
All right. Let's see who is in the chat here. We got Stephen Adams, and Stephen Adams had joined a little earlier. Wanted to know if this was about cruising, and basically it's not exactly about cruising. But you know, these conversations can go any kind of way. Most of the time, as we all know, we stay on track, and then one comment leads to something else, and the question gets asked. Hey, that's just how it is. We got DT Cruiser in the house. What's up, Dal? How's it going?
DT.
Miss you on here. Look, we trying to get you. Look, you show up for the tastings. I guess you know the DnD. You be like, nah, let me stay in the comments with this one.
Mom, don't be scared.
I know, right? Don't be scared. We don't bite. We chilling. We just talking. We just conversing. We got Team Reese in the house. What's up, Key and Ray? How's it going? Thank you for being here. Oh, you like my D&D shirt. Thank you. It's actually only available to the members for their merch, not for the masses. So just so you know, it's only available to y'all. Only certain you all have access to all of the designs, but the public only has access to a limited selection. So
fancy.
And Daryl, I did get yours today. We got Yolo. Yolo, what you doing behind the scene? Where you at? You supposed to be up here.
Where you at?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Key said, ooh, child, I could write a book on this. Okay, thank you. You be surprised about folks making choices and then they want somebody else to either help them out with the bad choices. And we're not talking about just, hey, one-time choice. We're talking about folk that make the same messed up choice over and over and over again and just look for everybody else. But we're going to get into that. What's up, Traveling Type? How y'all doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you. Got Kisha in the house. Hey, Kisha. How's it going? All right, let's see. Yellow said, whoop. See, this how she do us tonight. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Look, Yellow probably also said, let me stay in the comments on this segment. Let me stay in the comments.
Hey. He did you. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Scott. What's up? How you doing? Key said, I'm in the number. Okay. Oh, okay. Laying in my bed looking like Don King. Oh, okay. I got you. So you wasn't camera ready today. Okay.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
I got you. But look, there's no problem with that. Not a problem at all. Not at all. All right. So with that said, let's go on and get into this segment. So as we stated, our topic is living with life choices. And I do have a few skits, but what we're going to be focusing on today is basically what do you think are the top choices that you make in life? So let me go ahead and play the first segment, and just let me know if you actually agree with what this person said about the choices that you would have to make. Let's see here.
Everything is a choice, G. Everything is a choice. The life that you have is the life that you chose.
You have to live purposefully. People are just going with the flow.
The life that you have is a life that you chose. Where you're currently living, what you're currently doing, you chose that. People complain about having kids. People complain about having responsibilities. People complain about their rent. People complain about their student loans. Most of these things in life are self-imposed. You self-impose a lot of these issues in your life. That's just the nature of the game. So when you understand that everything is self-imposed, then you're like, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed on my responsibilities. I'm going to be more careful about the decisions and the commitments that I make because I understand that there's long-term consequences to it. I see a lot of people complaining, dude, but very few people taking action. Most people make excuses. Very few people make moves.
Oh, exactly, 100%. And sometimes there are circumstances like that life brings to you, but these ones you have to take it. You can't spend your time complaining about the circumstance that you're in. The only thing you can do is look at the cards that life has given you and play those in the best way you can.
Complaining is a loser's trait.
Yeah.
Complaining is the trait of a person that sees no hope to win.
All right. Thoughts on that? Who gonna start it off?
The sucker complains.
DJ?
I agree, like 90%. Some people don't have choices, but you do have a choice because you have a lot of people out there that will blame us because I'm this race or because I live here or because I was there or this and that, coming up with excuses and not looking at themselves on the choices that they've made. Because remember my background, military background, my parents and myself, and I did 25 years in law enforcement, Department of Corrections. So I've heard it all from all makes of life, from doctors and lawyers who were in prison to gangsters to murderers. I've heard all kinds of different things, all kinds of different excuses. Some people own up and some people don't. They blame the other person. And you need to, it's yourself. You did that.
Right. Stacy?
I agree with him. I'll take it further. I think life choices, you have choices that will affect you short term and choices that will affect you long term. And I think those are also interchangeable. I think choices where it affects your family, finances, different things. Finance could be short term. Family choices are definitely long term.
Right.
My example, and my example, my life is an example of a choice that's a long term choice. I started out as a career woman, and then I had a child, and he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and it's going to affect us long term. And I chose to be a stay at home mom, to be his all. I have an older daughter, and it hasn't always been positive, the effects from that choice, but I'm still okay with that choice.
Right.
And that's why I say complaining is for suckers. You make a choice, You live the choice.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's see what they got going on in the comments here. Yellow said, the person you choose to make, integrity is everything. The person you chose to make. I meant to say to choose. Wait, what she say? I meant be, not make. Oh, okay. The person you chose to be, basically, I think she's saying that that's one of the important ones. Integrity is everything.
I agree
Cruz
with that.
Guerrero saying hello. Yellow says, say that. All right. Dark Theme said, hey, everything's going good. Let me see here. Everyone's saying hey to Kisha. All right. Okay. So with that stated, because you brought up something, Stacy, in your comment, as well as TJ, to take it just a little further about accountability, right?
Yes.
Being accountable for what your choices are. And we also I heard two things. One, accountability, and the other part is some things you choose and some things it just happen where you really have no choice to choose. Do you really always have a choice, no matter the circumstance?
I really think so. I don't know if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I think it's in everyday life for me. That's just how I think. I really think everything is a choice.
I would break it down as an adult. Okay, we're going 18 and older.
Adulting, yeah.
Yeah, adulting. 18 and older, you have a choice.
have a
Okay,
choice.
when you're 17 and under, you're living under mom and pop's roof, auntie, grandma's, whatever. You don't have a choice. It's their house, their rules. You
Right.
can't,
Right.
But once you're 18 and over, adulting, it's on you.
It's on you. Everything's a choice. I tell my
Mhm.
daughter that today. Today, every day.
Yeah, this to me, I think that all choices, I think, are influenced though by
True.
your circumstances. Like, and I'm not talking about consequences, circumstances. I think that people have a choice, but I think a lot of times, depending on the mindset, as well as whether they have hope or whether they've seen something different, based on their current circumstances, it will influence a person's choice of whether they do it this way or whether they do it this way, or whether they just don't do anything at all. Right? Because sometimes you just need to not do anything for a minute, but some people always want to do something.
I agree with you, Tanya, about that. Other things can influence. So we'll go with our generation of adults, 42 and up. We'll go there.
Mhm.
We worked hard to get where you're at, in the jobs and stuff.
Right.
This younger generation, they want to make that quick money. They want to start off as a manager. No, you got to start off at the bottom and work your way up.
Work your way up, yeah.
Right.
They don't know that hard part of, no, you have to start at the bottom, work your way up. You just can't they want that quick money, that quick,
Right.
Way of going up the ladder. No, we know how to go and, scale up. But these youngsters choose, no, we want to start from the top. And no, you can't always choose the way to get to the top is just start from the top. You have to start at the bottom and work your way up.
Now, I agree with that, right? But then I'm a little torn a little bit in reference to just that, because it was funny because, I'm looking at the Gen Z and younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are basically reaping the rewards of what we set before them, right?
Right.
Because I'm only talking about the 42 and up parents, right? Some are borderline millennial or whatever, but most are Gen Xers right now, right? Up in the older crowd. We went and we witnessed in our life experiences back then. That's what we had to do to be there, right? Based on how the structure was. This is what you did in order to get where you needed to be, as well as maintain it. That's the key. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that I think that the Gen Z, they're not having to go through the same struggles that we went through, but their struggles are different. So their struggles are going to be different to the point where we would also have to look and go, well, how would I have handled it if it was me. Because right now you're talking about full technology. A lot of them have no clue on how to survive without it. And so the thing is, because that's all they know, and that's all this world is about to go to where technology is the thing, do they have to take the same steps that we did? Especially you got the YouTube, you got all this free information that we didn't have growing up. What you knew was what someone told you, or what you read in a book that someone gave you,
or what we experienced.
You couldn't challenge, if your parents said, oh, if you, what did they say? I'm trying to think of one of the just most stupidest thing parents used to say just to keep kids from doing stuff. It's like, if you kiss a boy, you get pregnant, right? Now, if you tell that to a younger child who doesn't know any better, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I'm going to get pregnant. That's just to keep them away from the boys, right?
I don't know what kids y'all be around, because my daughter didn't say that when I tried it.
Well, each person's different.
No, that's not what the teacher said in the book. Say different, Mom.
But do you see what right? But they needed that book. But then there was a time where that book was not accessible either. So then you have that generation, like before us, or older than us, that used to look at things like they have no clue. Some of them don't know what their body parts are. They don't know the name of their body parts. They don't know how to certain things that happen with your body still till today, unless someone says something to them, they have no clue. So I think with the generation, TJ, I think that they're going to go through a different struggle, but I think the hard part for them is going to be they see the life that we live because that's what they grew up in, right? So they don't know. Most of Gen Xers are not struggling because they went through that and they said, I refuse to struggle. Okay. Doesn't mean that you rich or whatever, but you may not be going from house to house and sleeping on people's couches and don't have a roof over your head, right? We've learned to survive. They didn't have to survive because they had us as parents. So we provided, and now it's like they turn their nose up at anything that's less than what they're used to. But their problem is going to be the fact that when they get out there in life, do you have the resilience and the ability to live a life like what you say you're used to, as well as sustain it? Can you sustain it? You may be able to get that role by talking your talk and letting these older people who are most likely hiring you, you can wow them with all this technology talk. Then you get that role, and then you realize that it's not just about that role. It's about how you deal with people, how you talk to people, building relationships, which they don't have a lot of experience with. Building relationships, friendships, even intimate relationships. If you look at the rate right now, statistics, a lot of them are not having babies. They're like, I don't want any kids. I don't want to get married. They're like, I just want to just live my life, and so because of that, that's going to be a struggle for them. But you're right. The choices, your choices is really going to be based on what your experiences and what's going on here. But everyone still has a choice because there are still people that will communicate with them to make sure that they understand the information. So there really is no excuse. And with as much information that's available, there's definitely no excuse for anybody to be making a certain choice and feel like it was somebody else's fault because they made that choice. Exactly. There's just too much information out here for that.
Well, going back to what you said, though, Miss Tanya.
That's fine. That's fine.
But isn't it a choice that we made, or a generation, though? Because what choice did we make? We made a choice that, listen, we don't want our kids to go through half the stuff that we went through.
Right.
So we can't sit around and complain.
Okay, right. And that's true. But let me tell you, but you still have a choice, even as a parent saying that, because with that, you still have to provide guidance so they still understand that money don't grow on trees. Mom and dad didn't have this growing up. This is what we had to do to get here. And that has not changed, meaning you still have to put forth an effort to have what you have or get what you need to get, regardless of what level that's
grounded and keep them grounded. But yeah. But
You
it
know,
really is. Like I think because I hear the conversation all the time, the different generations and how we struggle versus how they struggle. But it's a choice that we made. I know in conversation, just growing up, it's something in me, and it turned out that I wasn't the only one. Many of us, our age, 42 and up, we decided like, listen, man, like we became bulldozer parents, right?
right,
We just wanted to bulldoze everything out of their way because we didn't want them to struggle. So maybe our parents were right then in making sure that we had to fend for ourselves. And that's hard to
Mhm.
accept now that I'm older, right? With an
right,
adult child, now that I'm older, I'm like, well, maybe they were right to make us make our own choices, make us fall and get back up, right? But I decided a long time ago that was a choice I made. I'm just going to do everything that I can do to make sure that, my kids, didn't have to figure things out for themselves. And I'm constant, what we do all the time. I know my generation, friends I talk to, we're constantly teaching our kids. We're constantly having conversations with them. I know for a fact, growing up, when I was my daughter's age, nobody told me anything. Nobody's
right.
even had these conversations with me. But I decided a long time ago that I was going to be different. And that's a choice that I make. And I think a lot of us 42 and older, we decided that, you know what, we're going to talk to our kids. We're going to treat them different. We're going to open their eyes. And we've chosen to give them all these things,
Right.
And yes, we have to pull back sometimes and say, hey, you're living this kind of life because I chose to make you live this kind of life. But this is what mommy went through. Like, I ate bread for 5 days and couldn't complain. Like little things like
Right.
that.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Yellow said excuses are for suckers. I like that. Oh gosh. Keisha says she agrees. Yellow says you can't always choose what may happen to you, but how you handle that storm or circumstance determines and molds that future outcome. That is true. That is true, Yellow. Kisha says 3 of my sons make way more money than I do. I'm glad I didn't tell them to start at the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
But guess what? And guess what? That's not everybody, Kisha. That's not the norm. They can go and make the money, but it also depends on what they have to do to make that money, meaning what does their job consist of? Because right now, what I think because of technology is going back to where it's based on technical skills versus your relationship and communication
Right.
skills and things like that. Because everyone's typing, everyone's texting, everyone's virtual, everyone's doing that, where you don't have to put yourself in an awkward position to have those awkward conversations or difficult conversations, because you can need you're just handling the job and not the people with the job at some cases. But you're right, Kisha. To each its own, and some kids figure it out and some kids don't figure it out. Yellow said our soft butts don't want our kids to suffer, but we still need to hold our children accountable and lead them to the to the to the right well to drink from. That is true. He said, I think the younger generation is not down with putting up with the kind of things we put up with in the workplace. I'm honestly not mad at it. If there's a way to get higher faster, go for it. Hey, that I agree with getting higher, getting growing or evolving faster, as long as you don't skip the fundamentals that you're going to need for when you get there.
Exactly.
That's the part.
And the
And that's the part,
entitlement,
TJ, that you were talking about.
and don't feel entitled that you have to start up here. No, no,
Right.
no. Don't feel entitled, Doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. Everyone was saying right. Yellow, I want RJ to miss all the struggle if he can, but I agree. We still have to hold him accountable. This is the thing. I think that there is a struggle. I just think their struggle is different than our struggle. That's just what I think. I think our method of what it was that was struggling. So example would be my struggle was no money, you know, roof over your head at some point, or living in housing and having to eat those bread sandwiches, and so forth, and things of that nature. So your main thing that you always want to strive for is to not have that occur anymore, right? So
Right.
what was it about? I want to make more money. Well, how do I make more? Well, I need to have these resources provided for me that I want. So therefore, what do I need? Okay, in this world, I need money or connections, right? So you go through life striving for that so you don't have to face that struggle or your kids face that struggle. But then there's a different struggle because the parents and stuff before us, maybe their struggle was segregation, right? We some of us may touched with it because you got folk had laws and stuff that said, okay, you can try it if you want to and nuck if you buck, and I look, you can try it, but I'm gonna get you. I believe in the Second Amendment. So let's just go on about it is the Second Amendment, right? Please, Lord, with the gun, with the
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just I need nobody to come for me in the comments, okay? To come for me in the comments.
They'll hit you too.
But then I think that the next generation Z and younger generation, their struggle, I believe, is going to be resilience. I think that's going to be their problem. Being able to bounce back from disappointments, being able to bounce back from rejection, being able to bounce back, and that's going to affect their mental health. And I don't know if their mental health is going to have the capacity to withstand some of the things that's going to come at them just in this world. So that's what I think their struggle is going to be. It may not be financial. It may not be resources. It may be, I don't know how to handle all this stuff that I have. I don't know how to interpret all of this information that is being thrown at me so much. Because let me tell you, anytime you get a person who can't sit and focus on one thing at a time, that's not healthy. It's fine that you can do multiple things, but when you can't focus and you feel that you need something and you need to be doing 2 or 3 things at one time in order for you to interact, then that's a problem right there. Okay, let's get before we finish down into these comments, and hold on, let me put this on here. I like the way Scott does this too, so I know where it ended at. I got that from Scott. I like that. Let me see, because I just want to finish the comments pertaining to this particular topic of the conversation. Some struggle or lessons are necessary for life success. That is true.
Yes, I agree.
That is true. Hey, Big Murph, how you doing? Welcome back in. How's it going?
Big Murph?
Yeah. All right. Let me see. Oh, Reese said true, Yellow. Yellow said right. You don't want them to lose sight of the fact they must work for what they want. I think they will appreciate it more in the long run. And that's the key to long run. But we were all young at one point. We heard our parents say it too. You don't like me now, but you'll appreciate it later. We didn't want to hear that. We didn't want to hear it because we wanted it now. Dark Theme says socially, today's youth are not only looking for instant gratification, they also don't want to work 40 hours a week, and they don't want to work until they're 65. And they may not have to. They may not have to. Let me see. Oh, we got Etta in the house. Hey, Etta. Hey, beautiful. How you doing? Thanks for being here. Yes, you need those fundamentals or you won't survive at the top. That's where the sustainability comes. All those fundamentals you learn getting where you need to be on your own will teach you all of those things you need to function when you get there. She said the wolves will eat them up. You are exactly right. Exactly right. Etta said the pow pow. Yes, the pow pow. I try not to get demonetized. Okay, I've been getting clear since, especially with my type of mouth. Sometimes I got to censor myself. And yes, I am from the Generation X. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Sybil, how you doing? How's it going? How's you and Keon doing?
What's up, Sybil?
Good to hear from you. Thank you for your in the chat. The fact that everyone lives online forever now is a struggle in itself. Stuff that could slide under the rug would be out for everyone to see if just one person has a phone out when you mess up. Yes, that is true. That is true. That is true.
So, Tanya, talking about that struggle stuff. So I have a friend, real good friend. He's a master plumber. I mean, from housing to, apartments, restaurants, and stuff. This younger generation go for the choices. They don't want to work hard and get their hands dirty.
Right.
So like the trades,
right.
plumbing, electrical, electricians, HVAC, they're never going to go anywhere because there's always going to be plumbing. There's always going to be HVAC, air conditioning. There's always going to be electricians. Well, a lot of these older people, they're retiring. And these younger people don't want to do it. I talk to them all the time. They'll get an apprentice and stuff. And, oh, it's raining. I don't want to work outside. Well, the plumbing still needs to get done.
Right.
It's too hot. Well, and so they're just running through apprentice. And it's that for plumbing, electrician, and HVAC. It's like they want the job and they want the stuff now, but what a lot of people don't know, if you don't know that, plumbers, HVAC, electricians, they make fat bank.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Bank. But again, if I had that skill, I do that. I mean, it's some great money. Those are choices, but yeah, people want that fast, easy stuff and not want to work hard or different conditions and stuff. And it happens.
And that's, I think a lot of times some people, they want the good looking job, the jobs where, you look important. Some people don't feel that those service or those trade jobs are important, like that those are important people. You understand what I mean? So they may not find that as glamorous as someone saying, oh, that person's a doctor, that person's a lawyer, that person's that's just what they see. And then they come to realize that not everybody can be a doctor or a lawyer or a businessman. Nobody, if that was the case, then everybody would be rich. But guess what? Everybody could be rich if they would take the skill set that the Lord blessed them with and expand on that and turn that into a business. Because it comes natural to you, you will make the money. You will get that, because it won't be like it won't be as if you are it won't be as if you are working that hard. You see what I mean? And it'll be very easy. So people out here cleaning homes, people out there mechanics for the cars, like you said, electricians, plumbers, all of those things. Even now you want to pop up?
That's right.
What up, Timmy?
What's going on?
Well, you can come on over here on the seat, but we not stopping the show because you late. We actually okay then. Okay, all right then. So with that stated, let's get to the next video and let's see what you think about this. So the next topic in reference to choices are who you surround yourself with, who's your circle, who you affiliate yourself with. So let's and there's two short videos, so we're gonna do both of them. 1 second.
Put yourself around the right people on purpose. People that inspire you, motivate you, and actually make room for your success. Because there's some people that will help you, but they will help you just enough to keep you around. They will never help you enough to elevate. They will never support you all the way because they actually see you as competition. That's why you have to surround yourself with winners. So when you celebrate your wins, you don't feel bad about it. Because when you are around the right people, your success is not a threat. It's an expectation. You will never have to shrink yourself to make them comfortable. You will never have to dim your light to help them shine. The right people will clap for you because they want you to win, not because they feel obligated. They will push you forward. They will never hold you back. So be intentional, be strategic, because the right people won't just make space for your success, but they will celebrate it like it's their own.
Lions don't hang out with hyenas. They don't. Lions hang out with lions. Because a lion only hangs out with other lions, then the standard for a lion is being a lion. The issue with us in success sometimes is that we don't intentionally hang around people who are what we want to be. We just don't do it. If we can understand the importance of the proximity to excellence, well then the standard becomes excellent. Oftentimes we get advice from a friend or a family member or somebody that we know who've never even been in the space that we want to go. This is about the power of proximity. Most of us don't understand the importance of closing the gap to excellence. Like, we got to get closer to excellence. When you're around excellence, then you think excellent and you produce excellence in everything that you do. The expectation for you is excellent. Sometimes we listen to people who want us to win, but not more than they win themselves. So you get advice from people about being successful, but the undertone of it is jealousy and envy. That's not the direction that we need to go. Close the gap to excellence, hang out with lions. Surround yourself with people who have identity traits that you want to work towards. Excellence is always a proximity issue. Get around excellence.
All right. So as we see, you know, what they say, birds of a feather flock together or whatever. But obviously sometimes that's not the case, because you get some birds you get some roses that surround themselves with thorns because they always want to be the rose. They don't want to be a rose amongst other roses, because then it's like, what makes us different? Well, guess what? One rose may have some form of a color that is inspiring. Well, then it'll make you go, well, you know what? I want that color too. Well, what you got to do to grow that color? That petal is a whole different vibe. Everybody, well, tell me how to do that so I could, you know, put my own spin on it and build myself a little petal or whatever. Do I need to be planted in another piece of grass or another type of soil or something? What do I need to do? So with this is basically saying, hang around what you want to be, because they're going to hold you accountable to it. They will hold you accountable to it, because if they see you, if they know what it is that you want to do, they trying to help you, put you into connections with people, giving you, providing you with certain resources, and getting you connected with individuals that can help you move whatever goal it is that you got moving forward. What's
all right, Jimmy?
You okay?
Yeah.
You
Mr.
sure? What you sipping on? Hold on.
It ain't nothing but. Don't be worried about what's in my cup.
Look, is that juice?
Yes.
He lying, y'all. It's liquor. Matter of fact, speaking of that, what y'all sipping on?
Long Island iced tea.
Mr.
Dew is home.
Some cherry Kool-Aid.
Cherry Kool-Aid. And
I got some Kool-Aid.
And old fashioned. I've been drinking since earlier today, so I'm trying to hydrate. So I'm trying to get a balance.
Okay. Well, I'm drinking a bourbon straight that sort of just got a little watery because the ice melted. But
okay,
it's a Red Cup Saturday.
I like those shirts.
Thank you. Hey,
Mr. Timmy.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, I called him Mr. too.
Sorry about being late and everything, but
I already told him you was making sure that Event Shores got the table and everything.
When an artist is in his moment, it's hard to walk away. You might not get that same feeling the next day. So when you're feeling it, you got to stay with it.
Okay. I got it. I understand that one.
I was out there and I was feeling it. Then another feeling came on and said, "Fool, now you know you always support the queen. You out of order, Timmy. You out of order." I said, "No, I'm not." And Seth said, "Bitch, get it together." I said, "Let me go upstairs and jump in the shower right now."
Mr. Dude,
right now.
Mr. Timmy supporting the queen.
Hey, came down, freshly showered and smelling good. And the game.
All right, let's get back on topic. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you for your support. See, you surround yourself, and
yes,
in this segment right now, we're talking about who you surround yourself with and who you choose to be around. We also going to talk about even down to your spouses. So
that's a life choice.
Yeah.
That
So,
is
so
a life
what's your thought, Stacy, on surrounding yourself with the right people?
Oh, I completely agree. I completely agree. But I go back to the first thing that you said when you started this out, and you said it's a mindset. You
Right.
said two things that stuck with me. You said one, it's a mindset. That's correct. And you also said too that it's your life experience. No, it's the what you're influenced by, right? That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes together. I think who you surround yourself with influences your decisions too, right?
Right.
Influences your choice, influences your next move. It affects how you make your choices. But I do believe the first and the best thing that you said was about a mindset.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
I
maybe and
agree.
maybe in order to make the right choices, you have to change your mindset.
Mm.
If you're locked into that the mindset you have is the right way, then you're probably never gonna evolve, right?
Right.
So it
Right.
goes right back to that. I think that's the most important thing, the mindset.
Yeah. TJ.
Oh, I agree 100%. The people you surround yourself with has a great influence on what you do, but then it's your choice to go left or go right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you can't be like, oh no, you chose to do this. And so that was like when I got out the Marine Corps, group of friends, best friends since way back when. It was I'll say there's like 10 of us. Out of that 10, 5 of us made the right choice in life
Mm.
with career paths, family, all that. The other 5 locked up, been arrested, and not doing anything. But
Right.
at one point, all 10 of us were together.
Right. Right.
And some chose to go the wrong way, and the other 5 of us, we chose to go the right way.
So, okay, so let's talk about that. You said all of you all were together. Were you all friends or y'all was just associates?
We're all friends.
Okay, so was there any time that the ones who chose to go a different route, did any of you all try to hold them accountable for or sort of set some expectations with them to sort of guide them in the right way? Or did y'all just not know what they were choosing?
No, we try to help them because we were in our mid-20s at the time. And, hey, you may want to do that.
Right.
And they do it. Hey, you may not want to do that. You could talk to somebody so much and they ain't listen. And there's time you check out. Hey, you don't talk to them. You don't try to get at them this angle. You try to get them at that angle and multiple different people. And then they're just stuck on whatever they want with it. You got to wash your hands of it. I'm not going to go down that bad path, that rabbit hole. I choose to go this way. See you later.
Right. Okay. TJ?
Well, my thing is this right here. This is my favorite topic because I kind of preach, push, embellish, shine a spotlight on this all the time. You surround yourself with kings, you become a king. You surround yourself with a court jester, and that's all you're going to be. It's the court jester. You can't take someone and think that they're going to always want your best interest if they always talking negative. You say you buy a new car and the first thing they say is, well, I seen another car the other day, like they overlooked what you said or overheard and what you said, and they just go in a different direction because they refuse to give you your shine. They refuse to let you move up a level. I had a lot of so-called friends. When we got that Cadillac, I was talking, but I noticed some turned around and went left field. You know what I'm saying? And I said one thing, and I'm like, why are you over there? But you expose yourself. Now I see you.
Mm-hmm.
See? And that right there. So you ain't got to show it to me but one time. And I was like, okay, I got you. Not a problem. But from now on, I'll be careful what I share with them. Because people that you share stuff with who are automatically your adversary, even though they claim to be your friends, those are the ones you got to watch out for. So let's cut it. I just cut them back.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Yellow said, yes, say that. And I'll get back to the previous comments in a minute, you all. Now that's deep because we all can relate to that, unfortunately. Big Murph says straight facts. Sybil says, yes, surround yourself around winners to motivate you. Etta says, hashtag excellence. Woo, preach. Yes. Kisha put a heart up there. She agrees as well. Sybil says she loves it. Preach, preachers. See, everybody said you should have been called you Bishop. He got military folk, his military friends call him Bishop. Water. Okay. Big Etta says she's drinking water. All right, let me see. Yolo says she's drinking a whiskey margarita. Okay.
Get it, Yolo. Get it.
Hey, Alicia, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. All right. Etta said, just don't share it. Well, I can tell you that you know, when you surround yourself, it who you choose as friends, who you choose as associates, who you choose even as your spouse, does make a big difference in your life. And a lot of people don't understand that. But a lot of times, the reason being is sometimes people feel that based on how they were raised, I'm talking about family now, based on how they was raised in terms of belief of family, some family members it's embedded in them that because you are my blood, I'm supposed to just tolerate and just do. And if I move, then I need to take you along with me. And sometimes that's not always the case. No. And so I have a skit in reference to that about knowing when to let go. And this isn't just for family, but it can be for whoever is in your life that's not in that circle that's going to help you to evolve, grow, be happy, learn. You know, anybody in your life is really supposed to have a purpose in your life. And sometimes you know what the purpose is and sometimes you don't. But there are people in your life who are meant to get on your nerves, to teach you how to tolerate certain things. There are people in your life who are going to encourage you so you don't to help you feel worthy when you don't feel like you're worth anything. There are people in your life that's going to teach you to help elevate you. There are people in your life that were actually put on this earth to cause so many problems for you, to cause you to go through something where you're going to develop something that you're going to need down the line. And you go to heaven, and guess what? They may be in heaven too, because they doing exactly what they were supposed to do. You know, they may not be sitting in the front, but they in it, you know, because they did what they were supposed to do. But let's get to this skit about knowing when to let go.
We allow certain behavior to continue because we're trying to keep certain people in our lives. And unfortunately, some people should not be in our lives. And that is a hard pill to swallow as well, because as much as whether it's friends, family, or business acquaintances, some people do not belong in your life. And the sooner you can get them out, the better you're going to be.
So I know sometimes this is a like a sore subject for most people, because there are people who are very strong with family, friends, or they day ones, or they ride or dies and so forth. And I think that people automatically sort of have a sense of entitlement when they fit in one of those categories in your life. So whether they are helping you or even if they're hindering you, it's almost like, yeah, well, you just need to deal with it because one, you're my daughter, or well, you're my mother, or you're my day one. So you know that's how I am. So you just have to put up with it. But when it comes to knowing when to let go, sometimes you have to let people go or distance yourself a little bit. Or sometimes just sort of set standards. I won't even say boundaries, because boundaries, you can set boundaries all day long, but unless you got a restraining order, they can always come within your space, right? So, but pretty much just setting expectations of when you are around me, this is the only thing I'm going to tolerate. And if not, well, then I'm just going to dismiss myself or remove myself from the situation. What's been your experience with the people that are around you how they helped you or hindered you, and when they helped you, and then scenarios maybe when you've had to sort of dismiss a few people. We'll start with TJ this time.
I've had friends that I distanced myself and cut off, because of their behavior, the negativity and everything. It's just not my style, just I'm not going to be in that aura like that. I'm cool. I'm out.
Right.
And unfortunately, I've had to do that to a family member.
Yeah.
We're blood and all, but I can't take that road. Sorry, it's like that. Because some people, it's family, but there's certain things that you just can't cross.
Right.
And then it's like, hey, what's done is done. You're an adult. So, hey, you chose to do this or say this or that, so I'm choosing to do that.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not just because. No, I'm not that.
Right. You exactly right. And before we get to Stacy and TJ over here, in reference to that, you can't control other behaviors, right? But you can control yours and how you react to it, right?
Yes.
And so if I'm the type of person, now I'm not saying I can't be the type of person that will just cuss you out or tell you what I think about you, but even the person that at their worst moment, I still consider how they're going to perceive this message if I say it at this time. And so I feel that you always have a choice on how you react to what someone does. You can leave, right? Dismiss yourself, or I'll choose to address this at a later time, because what people sometimes try to do is to push your button, and then it brings you to their level to do what it is that they're trying to provoke out of you in the first place. So you're exactly right with, hey, you want to do that? That's fine. You can do that. I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just going to let you know I'm not going to be a part of it. So I'm about to exit stage left, basically. Yep. Stacy?
That's been hard. That's been hard for me, because I do surround myself with people that I love first. So I'm not looking. I never looked to see. I never knew I should surround myself. To be honest, I never knew I needed to surround myself with a certain group of people that will inspire me or be in a certain mindset. Because I think one of the other things we never talked about is what we look at as success, right? Mm-hmm. And I have great people that are in my life, whether it's family or whether it's friends. And I have a great group of friends that I have now. And we each have different things that we bring to the friend group. And everybody is amazing. And so it's hard. It's hard to just decide to cut somebody off because they're not seeing things how, I see things, right? And I'm still, even though I'm 46, I'm still trying to figure myself out, So a lot of times, like, I feel guilty to even decide that maybe it's time for me to cut somebody off, And that's just, like I said, that's something personal to me,
right?
Because maybe I'm learning then what success really is. I'm learning then, and I'm still learning every day. And for me, because it's been so hard to determine what my success is and seeing success through other people's eyes, it's hard to just say, you know what, Stacey, you need to cut that person off. Maybe I'm cutting the person off because I'm jealous or I'm envious, I'm working through that every day. Okay. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
So you need to cut somebody off. It's hard to say it's wrong for me to surround myself with this group of friends,
Right.
I try to be supportive. Right. And I try to find my little way, and I try to figure out what's right for me within the friend group, or within the family, and everybody else. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to tell you definitively, like, my opinion on it, because I'm working through it. Am I making sense?
Yeah. But see, you a Sagittarius, you get along with everybody, so you always looking for, it's okay, they just had a bad day today.
Yeah, I'm forgiving and I love on everybody else, you know. But I'm lucky though. Can I say I'm lucky though? I'm lucky. I've been lucky to have people in my life who, are just good people, you
Right.
know. And I think the people who, have offended or not supposed to be in there, they just like take themselves out, right?
Right.
So I'll be all right. But I'm still figuring myself out. 46.
Hey,
Still figuring it
look,
out.
until you leave this earth, everyone will continue to evolve and grow
Yeah,
and learn and everything.
I'm still figuring it out. And I think the only thing I've sort of figured out is what I want for my kids. And that's the
Right.
best thing that's the best thing. That's the only thing I'm really good at right now. I shouldn't say that, but I think for me, I'm figuring that that's what I'm good at. So I'm accepting that that's what I'm good at. So I'm focusing on that.
Right.
But yeah, I got people around me who, they'll pull me to the side and inspire me in different ways. And other times it's just to hang out and have fun. And I don't want to cut them out. Like you said, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm down for the fun.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
determine that we need to cut them out. It's like, okay, so we're gonna go from 5 people to 3 people. Like,
Right. TJ.
This right here symbolizes one thing in my life.
I
right
like
now,
the finger.
and the stages. It's like this. You got one time, one choice, one chance to live your best life.
And
So when you get to the stage I am now in my life, I wasn't here 10 years ago. I wasn't here 20 years ago. But where I am right now is one time, one choice, one chance to live my best life. So it's all or nothing. So guess what? The friends, family, and everybody who's been dead weight in my life, I'm sorry. I got to put me first.
I got to put me first. Me
You know
first.
what? Oh, the Johnson.
Anybody know where that said what I just said came from? Put it in the chat.
Anyway, but the thing,
Color purple, I believe.
we look for people and we look for people to be like us, and people want to walk with us and all that stuff, and we want people to share our vision and share our dreams and everything. But it's your vision, your dream, they try to embellish it and they try to look at it and shine it, but it's not meant for them. If it's not meant for you, then it is not for you. No matter how much you try to hold it or obtain it, it's not for you. But it's meant for the person who's holding it. One time, one choice, one chance. Live your best life to the best of your abilities. And when you got somebody in your life that's stopping you, they can't. Well, you know what? They can't stop you. They can only delay. They can only delay.
Because if it's meant for you.
If it's meant for you, we're going to get it. But if they delaying you, you got to look at how long do you want to be lost in the wilderness? Because they might never get on your level. They might not never get to the point where you are in life. They might not never see what you want them to see. And nowadays you look at the news and all that, you see how much craziness going on in the world. When people decided, oh, you know what, I got to get away from Johnny. Oh, you ain't gonna leave me. You get people getting murdered at the courthouse, murdered at the police station, because people done figured out that you got to live your best life. And that person is in your life. If they're not the right person, you gotta let them go.
Yeah.
Gotta let them go.
It's so hard for the lover in me.
Yeah.
But can I say something?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times I'm always checking myself, right? I internalize, I process, and I'm always checking myself. I worry that my best life, because I think I live my best life.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I'm
Well,
okay.
who determined that?
I'm okay with my best life, right? Like I have a wonderful husband, I have a wonderful family. Like I love life, I love people, like I love my life, right? And I worry sometimes, and I don't know if it's good. But I worry sometimes that maybe my best life, is not good enough for somebody else. Like,
But it's not for somebody else. That's why I say your
It's for
best
you.
life.
Should I cut people off because you don't see my best life as like what best life should be? That's why.
No, but the key word is your best life.
Right.
That's the key word. That's the pronoun.
My best life. Like my best life, and I'm living my best life. I really am. I just, like Mr. Timmy said, you don't want people around that are pulling you down, right?
That's right.
And every day I get up and I really do it every single day. Every day is a new day for me. No matter what happened yesterday, I wake up every day like it's a brand new day. We can do something different. We can smile today. That's how I live. And I just hope that as I'm living my best life, smiling tomorrow, like tomorrow morning, I'm going to smile, right? That I'm not pulling somebody down because they don't realize that my best life is just what it is. Is that okay?
And the
What do
thing,
you guys
and
think?
well, the key word is that's your best life. And the thing is, you don't want anybody who's gonna take you from what it is that you're enjoying in your life.
They call
That's
haters.
what the key is. You can't control nobody else. If somebody else feels like you smile too much, you don't take all of that, then guess what? Then go on your way some doggone where else. Don't worry about my smile. You go over there and frown then. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So no one's saying you have to smile. I'm smiling. So why are you telling me what I can't do? You know, now if you're saying, well, I don't need you smiling like that around me, well, then dismiss yourself. Don't come around me and my smile. Take your frown and you go someplace else. You know, so let's see what the chat says. Alicia says she's drinking water. Yellow says, yes, I have a handful of ladies who I text and chat with daily. We check on each other. We motivational notes, life updates, and are constantly planning our next meetup. Love these ladies, and they got me. That's right. That's right,
Nice.
Yellow.
Nice.
I've met some ladies and some flakes and fakers though. That is true. You're gonna meet those two out the years. She done met some flakers and fakers throughout her years. Edda's laughing. Yes, this is true and it hurts family and friends. Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes that's a problem. Sometimes 25 years is not enough. Oh, for you to learn the stuff. Yeah, that's true. Hey sis, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. And every relationship has an expiration date. She said it may be death, but it is important to recognize when it has expired. Holding on after that date can cause drama. You are exactly right, Tasha.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Those are facts. Those are facts.
Definitely. Sybil said you have to protect your peace. Exactly. Protect your peace at all times. And basically, and you know, there's a therapist that I saw, and I do have one of her videos that I will play in reference to people being able to keep their peace and live their happiness and choosing to do so, but making sure that they have the mental capacity to do so. Because at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. So when you say protect your peace, protecting your peace isn't that you're never going to have issues or you're never going to have problems or you're never going to have people that's going to challenge you. What it just means is you are going to be peaceful through the storm. Meaning, I know it's a storm, but I still know who I am. I still know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to work through this, and this is going to be done, and I'm going to move on, and I'm going to continue. Etta goes, I've left a friendship of over 30 years. She wouldn't let go, but I've stayed distant. Her friends that are not close to me have told her my friendship is a true friendship. I was surprised. She told me, hey, Etta, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that. 30 years, that's a long time. Hey, ma'am. Hey, Ronette. This is my sister. The last sister was TJ's sister. Hey, T in the panel in the chat, coming in late, took a nap today. Oh, must be nice. She took a nap. Some of us couldn't take a nap today. Yellow said, if I love you, truly love you, I will love you forever, but don't cross this cancer and don't come for me or my family or those I love. Say that again. Say that again, Yolo. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's true. I've had a hard time figuring it out because it's the longevity that keeps us connected. But if I walk away, let me go. Lord, she bullies me and always wants to do things together. It's wild. I just laugh. Hey, you know, sometimes they're just like my sister-in-law says, sometimes there is an expiration date. Sometimes you grow apart. Doesn't mean you don't like each other. Doesn't mean the friendship wasn't there. It might just mean that it's just time, like there's just because your priorities change in life.
Yeah,
life changes.
Your priorities change. Things that kept you together, those things may not be going on anymore. So that connection y'all had because of that is just not it. So, but you know when you're truly a friend, when you can be gone for months and then you call each other and you pick right back up and you're talking, but you both understand that we're not seeing each other every day like we used to. We're not going out every day like we used to. It's okay because life has priorities. Everybody has responsibilities. And there's different things that you connect with people with in different stages of your life. So
True.
Definitely. But the bullying part, Etta, I don't know about that. You might need to I don't know about no bullying. I've been told that I was a bully. Within my friend group, they said I'm a bully. And when I asked them, what do they mean by bullying? It's like, well, you always want us to do what you want to do. I said, no. It's just that I say what I'm going to do or what I'm not going to do. I don't tell you what to do. I just say, okay, you do that. I'm sorry, I won't be there. I'm not doing that.
It's the tone. It's the tone.
Or the tone of me saying I'm not going to be there. Well, I'm not bullying you. Bullying you is making you do something that you don't want to do. I don't make anybody do anything. See, I take myself and remove myself. If that's not what I want to do, then I'm like, y'all have fun. Y'all go do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to remove myself and y'all do what you do. That's not bullying somebody.
Manipulation is bullying too. Just saying for
what's manipulation, Stacy?
That part.
Did you see that bully tone, Mr. Timmy? What's manipulation, Stacy?
Yes, that part. And that's the thing that I try to tell, not just Tanya, but a lot of people do that. And then, what did I do? I ain't do anything. You know what you did.
Okay, what is manipulation? Because I want to know what's manipulation. Because she said it and scratched her head, so she said it sarcastically.
No. Sometimes it's the tone, the way you say things. It makes people feel.
So y'all scared. Y'all intimidated.
It makes people feel that I need to either get in the game or I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
It means that no.
What?
Okay, no. I'm gonna say you are exactly right. When you say I need to get in the game, no. I put it like this. If you open your mouth and say something, then stand on it. Regardless of what my response is, stand on it. She said manipulation. And I said, well, what do you mean by manipulation?
And I'm going to tell you what I mean by manipulation.
There you go. And then her job is to tell me what does she mean by manipulation.
You know when you have that friend in the group, right? Wink, wink.
Oh, is it the one that's on the screen? Go ahead.
No. Not
that one too.
Look.
You get jabbed with a little knife, little poke.
Look, that's Stacy friend. She my sister, but that's Stacy friend. And
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this sister. That's
tread lightly, Stacy. Tread lightly. You know how she get.
Tread
lightly. Go ahead.
Sure to keep my door in this week. We're good. We settled our stuff. But you know how you have that friend in the group, right? They plan the stuff, and when they're around and the stuff is going on, it's together. So when they say, "Oh, well, I don't want to do that," I'll just remove myself. Then the whole thing falls apart because that's the friend that puts the stuff together the right way, right, Mr. Timmy?
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. What does that have to do with it?
No, what it is?
That's not manipulation.
No, what it is?
Yeah.
It's the presentation and the tone that people don't understand. So I give a perfect example. When we used to go to Disney World, my daughter, we go there. We go on family vacation. My daughter don't like to ride roller coasters. Reason why she don't like to ride roller coasters because somebody took her down here to Six Flags and put on the ninja that tortures everybody with the head and the neck, and then you get off and you're throwing up and you got a headache. And I said, don't put on that ride because it kills everybody. But then when you get to Disneyland and tired of that roller coaster, I don't want to ride. What? You don't want to ride that roller coaster? I done paid all my money to get up in here. You gonna ride some roller coaster today? You gonna ride some? And here go me sitting on the other side. Don't worry about it, baby. You ain't got to ride. But now somebody manipulated sun down there in Florida. It's so hot. It's already hot down there. Now somebody's hotter than the flood down there. But the thing about it is, so guess what me and the daughter do? Come on, let's go and get on this roller coaster. Let's get it over with. That way we can get some peace and sleep when we get back to that room.
See how the conversation go left. Now I know I mentioned something about bullying. That's because Etta brought up the word bullying. But this segment is not about bullying.
Why are you laughing?
Anyway, Etta said people will latch on to you because of the radiant light coming through you, then become envious. All you can do is live, honey. You exactly right, Etta. That is exactly right. That's a good way to be. The nap threw me off. I don't usually take naps. Okay.
Could have fooled me.
Excuses. Etta, sometimes people find out too late and sometimes you just grow apart. That is true. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying, yo. Exactly. You're always growing and maturing. People are in your life for a reason, for a season or a lifetime. That's okay. Exactly. And people have to recognize that.
And it's okay.
And you know what? And it is okay. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because when we're talking about like your circle of people you keep around you, and everybody there's different levels of involvement that you have with them, just on a natural basis. Things you have in common. You might have things in common intermittently. You may have things in common every day, or every week, or whatever, or only at work and not after work. And some people you could connect with after work as well. But I find that sometimes it's troubling to me. So if you're a giving person or someone who's always looking for people to win, no matter what, like if, just like you said, if you got a circle of people and you want to celebrate with them. And this is like, I am honestly celebrating with you. Unfortunately, I've come across people when they see that, if they see my husband do it, they see me do it, I feel sad for them sometimes, because some people never had that. Most people are only used to the fake smiles and, hey, I'm so happy for you, but not real. Yep. Hey, I'm really happy for you. What else genuine. Can I, where can I fit in to help you elevate more? What is it that you're working on? They actually just can't believe it. They're like, I've had a person say, you know what? I just didn't know how to take you. What you mean you don't know how to take me? I just wasn't sure if you was really genuine or not. And I'm like, okay, that to me shows that you've come across a whole lot of fake people in life, obviously. That's what it said to me. And I just felt sad for the person, because it's like when you're around so many fake people and maybe you've been disappointed, people have, deceived you in some types of ways, that when you do come across genuine people who want to see you win and is actively involved with trying to get you to win, that you still sort of are standoffish, because it's still like, I don't know, because you're a little too happy for me. You know what I mean? Sort of thing. And it's like, well, I'm treating you no different than I would hope you would treat me if I'm celebrating. This is what I'm expecting too, so there's also people like that as well, where people come across good people, but they've been around so many bad people that they don't recognize the good ones. They just don't recognize it.
Well, I'm not going to be fake about celebrating you if, we're not cool. And I guess that goes back to what we were talking about before. When you determine whether you need to be friends with people, you need to be close to people.
Right.
And once you determine that, and I think it's easy to determine that. Let me switch. It's easy to determine that, because if I really, really deal with you, I really care about you, I really love you, we're really friends, we're really family, really close. Anything that happens with you, it's a celebration, even if I'm not experiencing it. But if when someone else, something good is happening for them, and it's my first inkling is not to celebrate you, then I guess that's a good guide that person needs to go.
Right.
Because now we no longer have a genuine relationship.
Right. Exactly.
I get what you guys were saying before. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yellow says she said what she said. I'm too old to tiptoe around grown people. Exactly. Ronette said, exactly, Tanya. We are not bullies. I like how she put the we in there. No, Tanya, we just have authoritative voices. Okay, sis, I can go with that.
No,
I can go with that. I can deal with that.
I'm gonna
What are
leave it
you
alone
talking
because
about?
it's tonight.
Hold
Don't
on.
be talking about me like I'm not on the chat. Oh, that's the Stacy. They ain't got nothing to do with none of us. TJ, this ain't got nothing to do with us. That's between her.
You, Tanya, and Renette, y'all all bully women. Y'all all bully type women.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
sisters. I'm not a part of that.
Look, he can't look. He can't come on the camera and talk crap about me. Now, he can't do that. He can't do that.
You gotta go to sleep tonight.
YOLO said that's a friend. Thank you, YOLO. Thank you. Boo. See what I'm saying?
Friend call y'all out.
Let me tell you, I listened to a TED talk, and I seen some other lady bounce off of it on TikTok or whatever. You know, they take something they heard and then they spin it off. But basically, it's saying that talking crap, joking, being open and honest, just unfiltered with people who you love is healthy, because that means that that person cares for you. That person is comfortable around you. That person is like, look, I'd rather you hear it from me who love you. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm going to tell you here. Okay. So, which means if you put on something and I'm looking at you going, I'm going to let you know here. Now, I'm not saying that what I think looks good is the end all be all, but I'm just letting you know, just look a little twice. Now, if that person look again, if my friend look again and they fine with it, then go on ahead. At least I know what it is. So the next time I see it, I won't have to say anything. Okay, that's your style. That's your fashion. That's what you choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
You good with it. You like it. I love it. Not a problem. But if I see something, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to let you know. You know, I'd rather you hear from me. No different than if I got a booger on my nose. I'd rather somebody, or my breath stink, I'd rather somebody close to me be like, hey, you know, your breath a little tart, whatever. Because guess what? That's at home. Don't let me go out in the street knowing my breath stink, and then everybody else know me as a lady who her breath stink. Now I'm mad. Now I'm mad with you because you didn't tell me and you knew my breath stink. Right? There you go. There you go.
Real friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Okay. All right, that's not manipulation. That means you all need to step y'all game up. Hold on a minute.
Says the sister.
Let's think. We'll deal with y'all later.
Say it again for the people in the back who ain't hear that. Say it again for the people in the back who didn't hear that. All right. So we was talking about folks in your circle. So now let's just talk about accountability. Hold on a second. Where's my media? Okay. So there's two of them. So we talked about people who choose to live their life the way they live their life. This is the last piece of the segment. To live their life. But we also know that those people need to be comfortable and accountable for whatever they choose, right? If you choose A, you need to be happy with A, live your life in A. Don't say nothing about over here on B and vice versa, right? So I'm going to play two short videos. Where are you? Here we go.
A lot of people don't want to admit this, but let's be real. You are responsible for your own misery. For a lot of us, accountability is such a tough thing to accept. But we don't want to admit that we are the ones that are responsible for the things we allow, the things we accept, the things we continue to grow in our lives. And that's why we look for everything as an excuse. We try to make the claim that this is how I was treated, that this is what was done to me, that you look at your past and you make that the center point of everything you've ever done, because it's so hard to be honest with yourself, to say that you have to be accountable. It's so hard to admit that you have to do something. Because let's be real, no one wants to do anything. You would rather just let things happen and unfold and not be responsible. But when you have to be responsible, that's when things get hard. When you have to be accountable, then you are the reason why things don't change. You are the reason why you continue the rut you're in. You are the reason why life hasn't been different. At some point, you have to take accountability for you and stop making an excuse as to why you aren't where you want to be.
Okay, so before I play the second one is I want you to replace when you hear the word broke from him,
Mm-hmm.
he's not saying it in terms of money. He's saying more like you choose less versus what your full potential is. That's how he's wording it. So I'm about to play it, but I wanted to put that in context because when people hear broke, they equate it to money. That's not what he's talking about.
Right.
No, my goal is to teach you wealth while living. In this video, we're going to talk about why some broke people actually enjoy being broke. You got to really think about this. Imagine when it's time to be wealthy, you have to think. You have to wake up early. You have to be proactive. You have to be productive. When it's time to be broke, you ain't got to do shit. You just got to chill. You just got to complain. You require no effort in your life. You got to understand, a lot of people are not built to solve problems. A lot of people don't want nothing in life. But the reality of life, I always tell people, just don't complain about it if that's what you choose to be. If you choose to be a broke person for the rest of your life, don't complain to none of your friends. Don't come asking me for money. Because at the end of the day, you have the option to grow and be better. You have the option to go do something with yourself, go get some education, go get a trade, go get a license. But you choose to just chill and do nothing because you're lazy as shit. I want you guys to understand in life, if you want to be great, invest into yourself, be smart, be proactive, be productive. Mentor me.
Oh, yeah.
So, there are individuals who they're like, I don't want to be responsible for anything. Like, I just want to, and then they ride on your coattail. They like, well, I just hook my wagon onto yours because you're going to work hard. You're going to make sure it happens. You're going to make sure everything is good. Okay, but you're dead weight. So if you're gonna live that type of life, and that's why they say it's very important to choose the people who you connect with, the people in your circle, because it's like crabs in the barrel. You trying to get out the barrel, and they like, wait a minute, I need company, or okay, you can get out the barrel, but can you pull me up too? I need you to pull me up, but you're not helping. You just hanging.
Mm-hmm.
You just holding on to my foot, just hanging. You're not trying to climb up. You're not trying to find another way to get up out the barrel. You just riding the coattail. What are your thoughts about about broke people just being broke? Basically, people who just living life day by day.
I want to go first.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
All right. Now, this is one of the highlights that I run across all the time. And I try to be a motivational speaker, and I try to be inspiration, and I try to be outgoing, and I try to be a leader. And I try to show people how I am. I work hard. A lot of people say, well, I ain't heard nothing from you. You don't call, you don't do this, because I'm always on the game. It's never a day off for me. Every day, all day. But then when people see you like that, then they turn around and then they want to invest in what you're working on. You know what I'm saying? I got a friend right now who always call me when it's convenient for him. And I said, hey man, why you always call me during my work hours when you know when I'm working? Why can't we talk sometime after hours? Well, I'm home with my lady, man. I don't take no calls when I'm home with my lady. I said, whoa. So I see what time it is. So you want to interrupt my peace. But basically you trying to tell me, pretty much you're trying to tell me I'm trash on a low level and think I ain't catch that. So it's okay for you to interrupt my peace, but when you get home, you got to step on a different level. So I'm like, okay, I get it. But I say this. There's enough out there for everybody. There's no excuse for nobody being broken, or anything. I mean, they got so many YouTube videos that you can look up. All of them might not be good, but it'll tell you how to make money, catch money, grow a money tree if you want to. But there's no excuse for just sitting around trying to filter off of somebody else's greatness or somebody else's effort because you want to be effortless. You want to sit back and say, well, I'm not going to work hard. I had a friend of mine that actually said that. I don't want to work hard. I just want to do just enough to get by. Well, if that's what you want to do, then don't keep coming to me. Hey, man, can I borrow $1? Hey man, can I catch you to work? Hey man, they got something going on the other day at the fair, but I'm gonna be a little short. You think me and you can go? You can hook me up to next week? But you see me out here struggling every day, struggling. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get ahead. But these are the people that find it no problem to hook their wagon to your wagon. But you know what I call it? Just straight trash. Trash.
Hefty.
Hefty trash.
Trash.
Trash. Hefty trash.
Hefty.
What's your thoughts, TJ?
Timmy said it all.
Okay.
You go out there, make that effort. Don't be like relying on somebody else. Rely on yourself. Because that person you relying on, they may have a different agenda or be like, look at you and you're not trying, but like, boom, I'm out. Rely on yourself, invest in yourself.
That's right. That's right. Stacy.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with the panel. Like, there's nothing to add. There's nothing to disagree with. Like, I agree.
Okay.
Mr. Timmy did his thing.
Okay. Let me see. Etta says, I hate that people assume crap about you and not even give you a chance. They've already made up in their mind how you are because of their lack of happiness in their lives. Facts. Etta. Those are facts. Mm-hmm. All relationships should be reciprocated of not deuces. That if not deuces, exactly. Tanya is the same person face to face, which is very refreshing, and I don't get that all the time. I am very guarded, trust issues, but I love to see people doing well. Thank you, Yolo.
That's fact. This is what you get all the time. It don't change. Trust me, I've been married to it for 25 years. It don't change.
And you still here.
Am I gonna get beat later?
No, and people that let me tell you something. He says this so many times, and I keep telling you
too.
My
husband says that too.
That on this daggone YouTube, because folks is gonna think that it's true. I do not touch this man. Let me tell y'all something. Move. Give me your cup. Do y'all see these hands? These hands. Look at my hand, my little hands. His hands and them fingers is thick. Everything. I ain't no fool. I ain't touching.
Like a bear claw.
Crazy. You crazy. Let me tell you, that was one thing in my life that I saw growing up, and I always said I would never. I've seen people, women in our family get beat and abused and things like that. And I always said that would never be me. But I also don't provoke people either. I'm not going to provoke a man. I'm not going to touch you. I saw your face. Stop lying to these people. I'm not going to provoke him. I'm not putting my hands on him. I'm not, be quiet, Stacey. I'm not putting my hand on him, no nothing, because I don't want nobody putting their hands on me. This is how I look at it. If a woman forgets how to be a woman, then a man should be able to forget how to be a man. So stay in your lane, keep your hands to yourself, and it shouldn't be a problem. That means don't be throwing nothing. Don't be doing nothing, because if you know you can't win, okay, you know you can't win, so don't even try it. So no, I do not beat you, and stop telling these people that. Doggone it.
Occasionally.
Oh, I agree. Well, blink twice, Mr. Timmy. Text me later.
Hey,
you know what time it is, Stacey?
Hey, Maggie. Hey, Maggie. How's it going? How's it going? All right. Yes, that is true, T. Etta says, can you send me the clip about accountability, Tanya? I have someone that needs that so bad. Will do. I'll send it to you. I will send it to you. Etta says, hashtag no effort to be broke. That is true. Okay, now we're getting into the broke responses. Wallowing in the gutter and being miserable and making no effort to get out. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Rynette says, I love the word productive. I have to be productive every day, no matter how small or big the task is, just as long as it is making me or my situation better than yesterday. That's how it's supposed to be, being productive. Etta said, make money, catch money. Okay. Help is available to anyone who wants it. Exactly. And let me tell you something, especially in these YouTube streets, there's just too much information out here for anybody to say they don't have something to do what they need to do.
Oh, yes.
to get ahead.
That's right, right there. He got bare hands. Ain't no fool. I'm not trying to bare hands. All right, y'all. So before we get out of here, the last thing is our takeaways from this is top choices in life is who you are, how you look at life, the people you keep around you. And I guess one of the most important things is choosing the right things in your life, whatever they are, whether it's people, a job, atmosphere, whatever it is making sure that all those things that are around you are supposed to either make you happy, make you money, or make you better. If it's not doing one of them three things, it's not doing anything for you. And it doesn't matter. It's not like it has to be something grand either. People making you smile, the people around you should be making you feel like you're a good person and things of that nature. Then those are the people you keep around you, and making choices and understand that is wherever you're going, whatever that's going on in your life right now, most of the time is self-imposed. So you got to look at turn the fingers around, and you got to look at yourself and stop blaming other people. Okay. And I understand. And we're going to close out by addressing the part about keeping your peace. Peace is something that you have regardless of what's going on, whether everything is fine or whether everything is all over the place. Chaos, basically. Peace is when there's so much chaos and people are looking at you and going, this don't bother you? You can easily say, yes, it does bother me, but I'm using my energy to problem solve. I'm using my energy to evaluate what can be done, not only to get through this, but how do I prevent this from happening again? So that's where that energy is, instead of, going all crazy and so forth. Ronette said facts. But we're going to end it off with this last video about having the capacity, building capacity in your mind to be able to deal with those times when you make bad choices, should I say.
Well, it's not permanent happiness. It's not being healed or never being triggered. And it's definitely not understanding every single thing about yourself. What we really want is autonomy, the freedom to make choices that align with who we are, its purpose, the sense that what we do matters, its confidence, the ability to trust ourselves even when things are uncertain. It's meaningful relationships that feel fulfilling and not transactional. And it's the ability to create something that reflects your values, a legacy you're proud of. But let me tell you, you don't get there without building your capacity, because autonomy requires you to be courageous and to take risks. Purpose demands you to face discomfort of being misunderstood. Confidence comes from doing hard things. Meaningful relationships need emotional resilience. And a legacy that's built by learning to carry the load of life without breaking under the pressure. Capacity is the foundation for all of it. Without it, you'll keep chasing the perfect life, but you'll never have the tools to sustain it. Start with capacity. Everything else flows from there.
All right. So that's pretty much it for the night, y'all. Does anybody else have anything to say? I'm going through the comments to make sure that I close everything out. TJ, do you have anything for the peoples?
No, Eric, it was a great topic.
Okay.
Invest in yourself. Don't let others lead you astray. Stay firm and do you. Who cares what other people think? Do you. Do what makes you happy. Do what you need to do to provide for you and your family. Make the right choices.
That's right. Stacy?
I'm echoing what TJ said. I'm echoing what Mr. Timmy said. I'm echoing what Miss Tanya said. This was a great panel tonight. This is a great discussion. I'm going to be watching this over and over. I need you to say that thing again that you said. Happiness, and you got to say the three things you said.
Oh, you talking about the people? What people are the people in your circle supposed to either be? If it doesn't make you happy, make you money,
or
make you better, then they're not helping.
Right.
They shouldn't even be in that because people who love you are going to fulfill all those three things. And when I say making money, is really you're evolving basically,
yeah.
and whatever that is. Correct.
Enough said. Enough said. I have nothing to add. This is perfect.
And me, I'm gonna add a little pretty Timmy nugget before we go. The thing about it is, and I tell everybody, if you want to be a king, you got to do king shit. Excuse my French. And if you want to be a queen, you got to do queen shit. That's what you got to do. You can't sit back and claim to be a king and you watching your spouse struggle doing stuff and you busy in another area, or say, for instance, you watching a family member or a friend or somebody that depends on you and you not be able to support the situation that you already volunteered to support. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm saying, what I do, I make sure that I do king stuff all the time. My spouse don't have to ask because I volunteer, because that's what a king does. A king shows up, shows out all the time. And that's the thing. So and a lot of times we got to realize there's two types of trash in your life. There's hefty.
It's heavy.
Right. It is what it is.
Wait. So say that again.
Hefty and glad.
There's two types of trash in your life. Hefty and glad.
Okay.
Glad is that one that you can tolerate, and you know it's trash, but you can tolerate it because it's gonna break on you. You know, when you put it in the trash bag and you don't make it to the big trash can because it done busted all open. Yes, that's that glad. But that hefty, hefty boy, that's the original heavy duty.
I'm definitely watching this one over and over.
Well, that's the thing. You got to realize what you got in your life. If you have that, you know what I'm saying? And if you got somebody that's lacking, your job is to motivate them. Don't criticize. Don't turn around and poke and turn a blind eye. Motivate them. If you see them missing a beat, motivate them. If you're the smartest person in the room, you got to get in a bigger room. But that's the thing. But if you chose somebody and they slacking, motivate.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
But you can't. Sometimes you can't motivate everybody. Sometimes people just want to be broke or broke in.
Then you got to accept the fact that they either hefty or they glad, but they definitely trash.
Hey, Scotty Travel, how you doing? Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Hey, Liam, how you doing? It's all right. Yeah, you'll have to catch the replay. We're done for the night. But thanks for being here. It was a very good panel today. Very good discussion. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Thanks for being here. You have to catch the replay.
Scott.
Yes. Love me some Scott. Yellow said wise words. Kicking it with Keisha said great job. Good food for thought. Thanks, Keisha. All right. Scotty says love yourself. That's right. Just right.
Got to.
Liam said, I just got here and you closing out. Yes, it's okay. Look, I'm trying to keep it an hour and a half. Now, there's been some times when I DnD be
2 hours.
Be about 2 hours. It all depends on the conversation. Things that come up out of the conversations, you know, that's just the way that it does. Etta says, yes, I love that. Said it was great. Let me see. Ronette said, for the record, I love being friends with Stacy. There you go. But don't forget Stacy. Don't forget Stacy. She gonna remember what you said. So just be on the lookout. You already know she ain't gonna forget.
He ain't gonna forget. He gonna call from a neighbor's house like I'm on the road.
See?
I love you.
It's also a blessing to be friends with your sibling. I love my sister. And we are friends as well. Everyone can't say that. Love you, Tanya. Love you too, sis.
Well, what about Timmy?
She talking about her sibling. You ain't in everything. You ain't in everything.
What about Timmy?
You're not in everything.
She gonna try to beat me later.
That's how you know my friend took a nap. That's how you know my friend took a nap. Came up with all this love.
Came up with exactly. Liam said hefty.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Taking it back.
Boy.
Trash.
I love it when Liam's in the room, boy. I tell you, him and Phil, them two will start. Oh, and Kristen, they will start some stuff. And Liz, they will start some stuff. You hear him? They will start some stuff that wasn't even there. But I love it. I love it. Thank you for being here. Hey, C, how you doing? We about to log off here. We're finishing up. Got to catch the replay. We got Rad Rav. Great positive talk, everyone. Thank you. Came out the bushes. All right, TJ.
Welcome in.
Hey, all right. From off of TJ side. All right, then, Rad Rav. Thank you for being here. Oh, dang, I missed it too. Yeah, we were done. We started early. We changed the time to 8 o'clock. It used to be 10:30 p.m., but I just want to be respectful of people's time. It's only one Saturday a month. So love the discussion. Great job. Etta is cracking up. YOLO is clapping. Thank y'all so much. Love everybody. Thank you for being here. TJ, Stacy, all the members. Thank you all for your support. In case anyone is not a member, you can always click on the link in the comments. It'll say membership, or you can go to my channel up under my about in the description, and you'll be able to click on it there. If you want to see what the membership holds, I have it here.
Yeah, we on the way, we came to play. Yeah, we came to play, we on the way. You know, yeah, we on the way, we came to play. All right now, we came to play, we on the way. Like right now, on the track, man, get it back, man. In the fast lane, with my feet up. Remember bad days, when no cash came. Check the bag, man, see the re-up. Never bought me, always fresh, had to get it off the reps. Now I'm on a trip with my little ones. Keep it coming, we the best, I can never look a mess. I impressed, and I watch the paper still come. We on the way, we came to play. Yeah.
Thank y'all. Oh, TJ, you have anything coming up you want to let the people know while you're on here?
Oh, yeah, I have my segment that I start on my TJ's Destinations channel on the Lido Deck with TJ. That will be 2 Saturdays from now, April 19th at noon o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you check in live for that nice episode.
All right. And TJ also has, he does vlogs and everything. He travels. He also has a second channel. He failed to say that.
I forgot.
What was it? Double Tap Fishing?
Double Tap Fishing. Yes.
Double Tap Fishing. You got to tune into there too. Definitely. TJ, if you could put hashtag spirits in the chat, and then people can get the link down in the comments. Shout out to TJ for doing his thing. When I say he has a Lido deck, he has his own personal Lido deck, better than Carnival. See, now we all just need to get there and go on and break out with our own line dances, like the up-to-date ones, and we ain't got to rely on the Carnival ones. We're just gonna do our own ones over there. So
that's right.
Thanks, TJ, for being here. Thank you all, and
thank you for having me.
Y'all, you welcome. And you all have a good evening.
Yes.
Bye.
For the real one. For the real one. For the real one. Have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real ones. For the real ones. For the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real one. For the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Yeah. Have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. For the real ones. For the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Have a toast for the real. Have a toast for the real.